To give billionaires massive tax cuts and to cut corporate taxes by over $1 trillion, even as they pull in record profits. His plans will add more than $5 trillion to the national debt, and that is on top of the $2 trillion tax cut he gave them when he was president and when he exploded the deficit.
She's promising communist price controls, wealth confiscation, energy annihilation, reparations, the largest tax increase ever imposed, and mass amnesty and citizenship for tens of millions of migrants who will consume trillions of dollars in federal benefits and destroy Social Security and Medicare.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to come to you and talk to you about the coming debate tomorrow in September 10th between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. This is the first debate the two will have. Kamala Harris was recently thrust into the spotlight after the previous debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. It was so tragic that they decided to remove Joe Biden altogether as the public finally realized that he was incapable of being competent enough to continue on as the next president of the United States, with him being in his mid to late 80s by the time he would have concluded his next term. Kamala Harris will face her first real opposition since being thrust into the spotlight 6 weeks ago. She has been mostly on a tour where she's just speaking at different rallies. She hasn't had any real opposition to her policies, any real questioning from the media. She has taken scrutiny as a result of it. Kamala previously ran in 2020 and received very to little no support from the general public during that time of the Democratic primary. Many people are saying right now that the fact that she's in this position means that she was placed there and not so much that she has earned the right. So it's going to be interesting watching her to compete and to have a challenge of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the most the presidential candidate who's gone through the most of these debates. He has, he has tried and he is prepared for the most part. He has gone through a rough last 3 or 4 years, facing trials, facing assassination attempts, facing anything and everything that any presidential candidate could face. He's basically seen it and he has taken it in stride and continued on to this point where he is kind of favored for the most part for the coming election. This is one of those situations where many people say it oftentimes that this is the most important election in your lifetime, and I'm one to believe so. The Biden-Harris campaign have overseen the influx of between 10 and 20 million illegal immigrants into the country. It has caused a serious boom in terms of spending. Cities like Chicago and California have seen their budgets pretty much deteriorated as the social service program has eaten up a large portion of their budgets. Americans all around the country have spoken about their distrust and their distaste for the fact that this is happening. California is recently under scrutiny as they try to pass a $150,000 down payment program for illegal immigrants. There's going to be a lot of different questions that are going to be tossed at this particular debate. We'll be covering it all. We'll go ahead and play a video here, watch a little bit of this, come back and talk about it. If it's your first time joining, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and here we go.
Finally, my plan will make our tax code more fair while also prioritizing investment and innovation. So let us be clear. Billionaires and big corporations must pay their fair share in taxes. Because here's the thing, it's just not right that those who can most afford it are often paying a lower tax rate than our teachers and our nurses and our firefighters. It's just not right. It's just not right. So that's why I support a billionaire minimum tax and corporations paying their fair share. And And while we ensure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share, we will tax capital gains at a rate that rewards investment in America's innovators, founders, and small businesses. So here's the detail. If you earn $1 million a year or more, the tax rate on your long-term capital gains will be 28% under my plan, because we know when the government encourages investment, it leads to broad-based economic growth and it creates jobs, which makes our economy stronger.
Comrade Kamala Harris does nothing but complain, always complaining about this or that. But she's in the administration now. Why doesn't she do something? She does nothing but talk, nothing but gripe, nothing but complain about the terrible border or the economy and inflation. But she's been there for 3.5 years. So why doesn't she fix it? Go out, Kamala, stop talking and fix it. You don't want to do any interviews, so you have plenty of time. Go out and fix it. Don't complain. She's been there 3.5 years, and she complains about inflation. She caused inflation. She allowed 20 million people to come into our country, some from prisons and jails, some from mental institutions and insane asylums, and many, many terrorists. She doesn't have a clue. She's destroying our country and complaining about it all the way down. Thank you.
All right, perfect. So the question now becomes, in terms of the Republican Party, can Donald Trump get enough independents, get enough, undecided voters to come to his side? He has a very strong support of about 45 to 47% of the Republican Party. And, you need a good 3, 4, 5% of the middle to left to be able to win an election here. Many people are saying right now that that he's likely to receive the largest percentage of the African American vote that any Republican has received, mostly in history. He's done that in his last election in 2020. He's likely to do that again. A big question for the Democratic Party is, will people surround and will people actually come out to support Kamala Harris? Joe Biden received 80 million votes in the last election, I believe either 80 or 81 million votes. If there's a chance that she can garner some of that support, that would bode well for her chance of becoming the next elected official. There's so much that's happening right now. And, a lot of the things that people are seeing, we're watching the exodus of people from New York, from California, and the like, due to the wave of crime, due to the bankrupting of systems in Chicago as well. And people are flooding to places like Florida, Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, southern states, because they see the opportunity for a cheaper living. They see the chance of a better life in terms of different rules and regulations in terms of crime. And how does that affect, the delegate spread between the North and the South? I believe California lost delegates for the first time in almost 100 years, I believe, after many people have exited the state. There's so many different things. Inflation is out of control. You have crime. You have different situations with the illegal immigrants to Tren de Aragua. And so many people are just wondering about where exactly things will go. Their thought is that if Kamala Harris is elected as president, she will fully open the border and there will be a serious flood of people coming into the country. Donald Trump has said on many occasions that if he is elected, he will enact the largest deportation in American history. For right now, Barack Obama is the deporter in chief who has the most on record. But there's going to be a lot that's going on here. People are saying once again that they can expect a large push from migrant caravans, as people think that Donald Trump could possibly be elected and the chance of them crossing into the border could be limited. There's just so much that's happening right now. And as we're waiting to see exactly how this plays out,